We're going to get to that in a second. How you all doing? Thank you so much for joining me for the Friday Night Mic Drop. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, I'm just diving in here. Just getting home. So all good. Heather Antos, happy Friday. I'm at a toga party tonight. Oh, Lordy. All right. That's awesome. Have fun out there, Heather. Audacious Amber, good to have you back. Thank you so much. Lola, how's Canada? And some, how's Canada? Looks like this is 7 Central. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. I'll be back. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes, absolutely, Christine. 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central. Very good. Margaret, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And Joe, thank you. Man, time zones, they will ruin you. I can tell you that. And it's so easy, to just get wrong. And I've gotten it wrong so many times. Let's see here. Appreciate you, Lola. KK, thank you so much for joining us. Tony, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Tell your wife I said hello, John. Love you, bro. John and Christine, appreciate you guys. Hello, Brenda Castleberry. John O'Malia, how you doing, buddy? Tell your wife I said hello as well. Sheila's here. Okay, good. As usual, trouble logging on. No audio. I'm assuming we have audio now. Yep, good. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. Appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. We'll get into why. Hey, Jill, how you doing? Good to have you. And some. Yep, Canada. Kate O'Donnell, haven't seen you for a second. Good. Awesome. Christine, John, Lola, Brenda, Jill. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you joining me. I do. What a crazy week. And I learned something this week, which is awesome. And we'll get into it. We've got something going on tonight. I look a mess. I do, man. I am, baby, burning that candle at both ends, and it's awesome. I am going to have to slow down for a second, probably. But for right now, we're just getting her done, man. And so that's exciting. It's good stuff, and I'll tell you all about it. Before we go any further, though, last week it was like, hey, here's the song for the Ryan Files After Dark. And then I had to put a little bit of a video together. If you want to see it, let me know in the comments. I'll show it to you. If not, no big deal. You will see it tonight during the release, I guess, of the Ryan Files After Dark. Tonight, 9 p.m., Gary Leggiere. What do you say? I don't know. Has anybody seen the Facebook little ads? There's been 2 of them. Has anybody seen those ads with Gary Leggiere? Anybody? Anybody at all? Talk to me, Goose. Let's see here. Checking in from Ohio. Hey, Deanne Bibby. Thank you so much for joining us, man. From Ohio. There you go. Ohio State. Go Bucks. Today. Jill got some sort of whatever nasal surgery, so say a little prayer for Jill. Yeah, so Gary's something special, man. And it's like 2.5 hours of that. And to be fair, I love Gary as a human being, and I'm not talking bad about Gary at all. Gary reached out to me and I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And we did it. And, I said, hey, probably, we'll do better off if there's no cussing or, whatever, smoking, drinking, whatever stuff. But that didn't happen. And we were in it, we were in it. And once he gets going, there's no stopping him. I love it. the bottom line is like Gary's Gary. I'm going to let Gary be Gary and let Gary cook. And that's what he does. And he does, man. He cooks. And I'm not going to belittle anything that he's done research wise and whatnot. I think a lot of people would. I think there's probably a lot of people who would say, yeah, I'm not going to put that out there. But I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And that's why it's just a little different. It's obviously a little different than what we normally do. So tonight, man, I mean, just have some fun with it. Man, I'm in the middle of the interview, I'm doing the interview with Gary, and I'm thinking in my head, 2.5 hours of this, I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I don't know. Yeah. And, this has been a while ago when we did the interview. It was like sometime right before a road trip I had. And I was like, you know what? I went back and listened to it, and I was like, the dude he's something special. And I found myself being entertained watching it as I edited it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's different. All right. Just roll with it. Gary's got his own style and things, but we oftentimes will judge the person. That's not my job right here. I'm not judging the person. I am judging the research and whatnot. He's put some time into it. I don't agree with everything. I don't see everything. He doesn't see everything I see, which is cool. We can agree to disagree, but you'll learn something. So that's what it's about tonight. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks very interesting. It is very interesting. Zinny Royals. That's awesome. I like that name, Zinny. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah, people who are, they are. Lori, hope you're well. Late to the party. I'll tell you what, I'll fire it up. I'll show you this little video. It's probably not the best video in the world, but it was something that I decided to throw together just for media, because for now, who knows where this goes. As soon as we get back from this video, I'll tell you about tomorrow's interview I have. So this is the Ryan Files After Dark theme video, I guess you would say. And check it out. Tell me what you think after it's done. Here we go.
Whispers in the static, secrets leave a mark. Truth ain't in the daylight, it lives after dark. Ryan's on the trail, pulling threads apart. The Ryan Files After Dark, this is where it starts. Angels on the skyline, demons in the mist. Giants in the earth, fists the size of cliffs. Nephilim footprints, history's abyss. Pyramids aligned, but who's making the list? Oh God, sleeping, Yahweh's thunder roars. Secrets in the scriptures, knocking on the doors. From Eden to the stars, the questions never pause. What's the cost of the truth? It's written in scars. Pages burning, lies unravel. Footsteps crunch where the ancients travel. Voices whisper where the echoes babble. Stay curious or let the shadows grab you. The Ryan Files After Dark, peeling back the veil, igniting the spark, searching through the cosmos. Truth leaves its mark. Stay curious. This is just the start. 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 Yeah, aliens in orbit, angels on the ground, lost in the labyrinth where the secrets are found. Conspiracies buried, hidden in the sound, digging through the ages, pulling true profound. Jesus in the margins, gods in disguise, demons in the shadows, lightning in their eyes. Ancient history whispers, buried under lies. Ryan's got the key to expose what they hide. Through the smoke, through the fog, through the whispers of the gods. Truth is a weapon, sharp as a claw. The Ryan Files After Dark, revelation raw. Look, the Ryan Files After Dark, peeling back the veil, igniting the spark, searching through the cosmos. Truth leaves its
So there you go. There it is. A lot of biblical concepts in there, but the bottom line is it's not. As much as it looks like maybe it is, it's not, because it is connected to the real world we live in today. And that's a lot of what the Ryan Files is about. I mean, we make those connections, and it's wild. Once you start making those connections, you can't unsee them. It's crazy. So I appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. Awesome. A little scary. Oh, come on, Lola. Lola, I thought of you. The past couple episodes, people were talking about Nephilim traits. Dr. Laura Sanger talked about it. And then I just did an interview with the amazing Gary Wayne. It's awesome. That dude is so bright. He's coming up here in a few weeks, but he was talking about, they're tall. They have red hair, pale complected, blah, 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 blah. RH negative blood. And I'm like, all these traits. I'm like, gosh, I guess I'm a Nephilim. So anyways, kind of funny. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, tune in tonight, man. Listen, if you I just want to see what the reaction is. That's it. I just want to see the reaction. I'm excited about it though. I mean, I love some Gary Leggiere, and you know, it's kind of a rough exterior, but I think he's a good dude at heart, and he's passionate, and I respect that. And yeah, so Julie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Let's just switch gears just for a second. Talk about ETA files for all of you who are interested in that. One reason I got to see. Yeah, Gary Wayne is coming up. I've interviewed him this week. What was it? Mr. Vax 2. All right. Great name. I love it. Yeah, so they're awesome. I'll tell you who's coming up. I do want to touch on the ETA file side of things for those of you who are out there in the Elvis world. So this week we had Luke Barnhart, and I really enjoyed that episode. Young buck, man, up and coming. I thought he was fabulous. Lori, what do you think? I mean, I think he was fabulous at Elvis Explosion. And I said it. I went out on a limb. I'll probably get some flack for that. It is subjective. But I love it. He's a young soccer player who's going to school for music, and I just love everything about it. I love all of these stories. Somebody that I've known for a long time, though, Jesse Aron, is coming up this week. Jesse Aron, he's coming up next Thursday on ETA Files. So check that out. And then, man, I have got... So I get back from being on the road, and I'm like, okay, I need to get some stuff going here. So this is kind of what has happened over the past few weeks. On the 17th, so today is the 26th. On the 17th, that's the same day that I interviewed Luke Barnhart, which was just this past Thursday. I also interviewed Daniel Duke. If you recall, he is Jesse James' great grandson, something like that. We talk about Templar treasure, and we get deep into secret societies and stuff like that. Different than the first episode. Tune into that one for sure, coming up down the road on the Ryan Files. On the 18th, the following day, I had a meeting with Jesse Aron. And Jesse Aron will be next week's episode on the ETA Files. And then I had at 3 p.m. after that on the 18th, an interview with Christopher Dunn, who's been on Joe Rogan talking about the pyramids and how, as an engineer, he's an engineer, he thinks they were a machine, which is awesome. And man, he gets into it. And he says something at the very end of the episode that I went back, like I'm still editing this episode, and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, oh, wow. So that's fascinating. Anybody who's into the science. And I love the episode because he's not like banging on Egyptologists. He's not, he's kind of like outside of the whole debate in Egyptology, which is massive. He's kind of like, I don't know how they made them. I don't know. I don't know how they made them. I can't tell you if they made them in 20 some years, if that's possible or not. He doesn't have any theories about that, but he does have theories about the engineering of the structures themselves and what they were used for. And that's probably why he was on Joe Rogan. So he's a fascinating author, and I have his books, and he came on. It's just freaking fabulous. So check that out. Took a little bit of time off because I got to edit at some point, So the following Tuesday, on the 23rd, I had an ETA Files meeting with David Allen, and he forgot about it. So, God bless him. That was the night of Dr. Laura Sanger, of course. And please forgive me for not being able to join like I normally do on some of these episodes. Number one, Legends in Concert, where I work, it got hit by lightning. All the internet was out. It just got restored today. So it'll be better. But for the remaining month of September and then October, I am opening and closing the show. The show starts at 8. So, and I have to get ready at some point too. So I'm there when it kicks off, but I do have to go on stage, and I apologize. It's just it is what it is. So, that'll change after October. I'll be there for the full episode. So anyways, apologize about that. On Wednesday, the 24th, just this Wednesday, I had an interview with who is that? Oh, sorry. Nick Perkins. Nick Perkins will be coming up the week after Jesse Aron on ETA Files. If you all know, Nick Perkins was at Elvis Explosion as well. Did a great job. Awesome interview. I really got to know the guy, and it was a lot of fun. Yesterday I interviewed Gary Wayne, probably one of the biggest names in this space when we talk about Nephilim and all that stuff. And he's brilliant. I mean, there's nothing like being in a conversation and being like, I know I am the dumbest person. It's just the two of us, so obviously I'm going to be the dumbest person. But, I mean, by far, he is awesome. And our conversation, I mean, sometimes I'm like in the middle of doing these interviews, and I'm like, I'm listening, I'm listening, I'm learning in the interview, but I'm like, there's a thought that comes to my mind. I can't believe this is happening. And that's one of them. Christopher Dunn, Gary Wayne, all the same thing. But we had an excellent conversation. Great guy. Both of them, Christopher Dunn and Gary Wayne, two of the biggest people. Dr. Laura Sanger, great people, man. It says something. And then today, of course, we've got the Friday Night Mic Drop, and tonight, the Ryan Files After Dark, 9 p.m. Central. I was talking to some friends at work and just showed them a little bit of a preview, and some of them said, we're going to have a drinking game on this. I'm not condoning that. But anyways, it'll be a fun time. Let me see what some people have had to say here. Trying to keep up. Sorry. It's not scary, Lola. Oh, it is scary, but it's the truth. Hey, Bev. Good to have you. Hello, Julie, again. Good to have you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, as always. You're awesome. Mr. Vax, too. There you go. Let's see. Anson, very interesting for sure. Missed the hype part. Yeah. You did miss the hype part. But there's also, well, I'm not going to say it. It was going to be a comment about some mythological creatures that aren't necessarily as tall. Maybe, I'm going to shut up. How's that? I'll just shut up, Lola. I love you, girl. I have yet to watch the new episode of ETA Files. I watched it. Yeah, Luke's awesome. Lori knows Luke personally. He's a great kid, great head on his shoulders. Absolutely. Kathy Pitts from Australia. Yep, you're here with Margaret. Awesome. it's a pleasure meeting you at Legends, and that's awesome. Zenny Royals. I love that name. Well, thank you I appreciate you. Get the word out there. That's everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can go back and watch anytime. It's all good. There was Omar January ticket stress. I'm sorry about that. I don't know anything about that. Let's see. All right. Don't get short with me. Yeah. That's the truth. And then just to give you an idea of what's going on tomorrow, and John Jeffords, you'll be interested in this. There's a gentleman by the name of Jack Sarfati. This dude is awesome. I don't even know why he's coming on the Ryan Files. He is like all the way back in the day. Like he was mentored up by some of the people who were on the Manhattan Project, Philadelphia Experiment, all this kind of crazy stuff. He was a part of, AI early on, machine learning and all that. He was a big part of the Star Wars project during the early 80s, that administration. He's been involved in just awesome stuff, and it crosses over. Like he's a real scientist, but it crosses over into this metaphysical realm whenever you're getting into quantum mechanics and stuff. And he's in it deep. I don't even know if I'll be able to talk to him, like if we're going to talk the same language. I've done some research and I found him. I was able to get a hold of him. And I wrote this long email. I was like, hey man, I laid out all these things like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. And I was trying to be very professional. And his response was, sure. I was like, okay, here's some times. And he said, okay, 3 p.m. Saturday. I was like, okay. It's just, so I don't know what to expect. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. A little intimidated, but we'll just have some fun. We'll go do it. So I'm interviewing Jack Sarfati. You look him up, man. Jack Sarfati. That is JACKSARFATTI. Go look up his background. Talk about being the dumbest person in the room. Yeah. Anyway, and then we got some great stuff coming up on the 30th. We got 3 interviews, man. Interviewing Ben Thompson, ultimate winner from the UK. I think he lives in the United States now. I'm not sure, but interviewing him, interviewing David Allen, and David will be there this time, hopefully. And then a new name, man, Micah Van Hust. He was a representative for the state of Tennessee at one point. And the dude is awesome and has agreed to come on. We're going to shoot 2 episodes about some of the books he's written. One that deals with angels and demons and one that deals with secret societies. So I will be interviewing him on Tuesday and then the following Tuesday for the 2nd episode. So that's awesome. And man, his stuff is incredible. He's former Marine. I love it. Hoorah. And there's going to be some great energy on that. And then finally, upcoming again, the last interview I have scheduled as of right now is Austin Irby for ETA Files. So, man, there's some great names coming up on both sides of the podcast. Also, there's a gentleman who's an author about cryogenics, whatever it is, freezing people. He's an author, fiction author, but he had to do a lot of research, and he's going to be coming on. He's from Australia. We're working out the details right now. Just so much going on. It's really an exciting time to be part of this. And of course, next week on, tonight we have Gary Leggiere. We're talking about the face of Mars. But next Tuesday for the regular slot of the Ryan Files, we have Dr. Michael Lake coming on. This dude, I heard of him. Vicky Joy Anderson knows him, talked high of him. I've heard about him, but I never really knew too much about him. And dude, we had a conversation, and he brought it. It's a great, probably one of the easiest, easy to understand and very informative conversations. You know, sometimes things get in the weeds a little bit because it gets deep. He's just like right here, but it's very easy to understand, very well spoken, and just lays it out unapologetically, and I love it. Now, I uploaded, and I want to get into this tonight. Let me see what people are saying. Let me see here. Let me see what people are saying. Jesse's coming. Yeah, Jesse, we talk about his Roy Orbison. It's awesome. Well, I did talk to Joe Zanelli, Lori, with Change of Habit, and there might be more coming up. I have reached out to John Stewart, who is the founder of Legends in Concert, to come on, and a number of other people. So down the road, I'm sure. Yes, absolutely. Obviously, the slate's full at the moment. But anyway, Clearfield. Clear. We'll see about Clearfield. Sweatbox. Yeah, Ben Thompson's awesome. Where's she at? Stacy Summers is where? Going to be at the Grand Rivers Casino. Oh, and Amy, my wife, is going to be performing there in December as well. That's awesome. Do they have their body frozen? Crazy what people will do. Yeah, Mr. Vax. Absolutely. Walt Disney is supposedly frozen. Yeah, well, maybe we'll get into that. You got to be careful. You got to be careful about all this. Monica Lynn and Mr. Vax, too. Is it John and Christine's anniversary? Happy anniversary. That's awesome. Big round of applause, John and Christine. Christine especially for putting up with John. I love you guys. You're awesome. Yeah, Mr. Vax 2 and Monica Lynn. Yeah, so it gets a little crazy. And here's what something I've been dealing with. YouTube is an amazing platform. In so many ways. They're also amazing at suppression and flat out censorship. And I'm sitting here talking on YouTube, and I hate it because I know that this will probably get flagged if I say anything. I'm going to try to skirt around it, and we'll see. If you go back and listen to the Dr. Laura Sanger episode, there was a mention one time of the last name of the President of the United States. In no way, shape, or form was it really a political statement. It was just a contextual statement. And that got the entire episode basically shadow banned, especially when it comes to advertising, promoting it, pushing it, all that stuff. And I got this, I was like, hey, come on, guys, this is crazy. AI is checking this. And they're saying, well, you said that word. You can't say that word, which I thought was ridiculous. I thought, you know what, I have a little ground to stand on here. I'm going to argue it and say, come on, guys, can I get a human review here? There wasn't, and it's called, election advertising in the United States policy. That's I got a strike for that. Seriously. I get this email back because they did like this 48-hour review. The video content mentions that one word, our current last name, the President of the United States. as a current or former president of the United States, this falls under our Google Ads policy. Our policy on political content states that ads that feature a current office holder or candidate for an elected federal office are not allowed. Not allowed. This includes federal offices such as the President or Vice President of the United States, members of the United States House of Representatives, or United States Senate. Excuse me. That's wild. So we can't have pretty much any open discussion. I don't even know that you can even say President of the United States or whatnot without it getting flagged. What's that say? We can't talk about these things. That's what it says. That is unbelievable suppression. It even goes on to say, as I said, where is it? It says something about current or past, even elected federal officials, which is like, so when we get into World War II, we can't talk about this. When we get into, a 1960s presidential offing, I can't use the other word. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Like, what happened to open talk about real things, historical things that are not, historical facts that aren't up for debate. And then I come to understand that might also include a recent individual who passed away on September 10th. I don't care what your political views are. That happened. That's a fact thing. But if you mention it, you're going to be suppressed and demonetized, blah, 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 for that episode. Are you kidding me? This is what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. And unfortunately, that's the way it goes, because there is nobody who is going to buck the system, because they're all making money. The people who make the laws are bucking the system. Now, there was one way I could get around this. I could sign up for this ability to talk about these things, except every episode that had an advertisement in it would say, paid for by Ryan Pelton and the Ryan Files. And if you click here, you'll see his address, his phone number, everything. Basically, the ability to dox you in order to get past that situation. I'm talking everything moving forward. So if I'm doing an episode of, like last night with Luke Barnhart in the Ryan File or ETA Files, that would have the same information there. You get doxxed. That's what it is. If you're gonna go down this road, you're gonna get doxxed. So you don't do it. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't get how this is allowed, especially, like I said, we're on a public, what I consider fully a utility called the internet. All right. It's a utility. Google doesn't own the internet. There's a lot of different people, companies, everything, governments that own the internet. It is a public utility. Back in the day, on a landline, hello, how you doing? I want to talk to you about whatever. Well, guess what? The utility company did not have the ability to say, you can't talk about that while you're using the telephone. They didn't have that ability. But because it's not considered a public utility, the internet is not considered a public utility, then businesses like Google and others, censorship. It's legal. And it's legal because free speech is for the citizen. It's not incumbent on companies to have the same policy. So that's the loop. It's out of control. Out of control. I can't say more about it. I'll probably get in trouble for saying what I've already said. But anyway, let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah. Taking my bride of 42 years to Culver's for our anniversary. Romantic at heart, John. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Happy anniversary for sure. Yeah, exactly, Monica. You said Disney, and yeah. Yeah, Mr. Vex, it is insane. And I'm just, like they say, doing this, you'll learn as you go. And I did. And so, okay, the following episode with Dr. Michael Lake, one time, he said something about the current president in a context that had nothing to do with politics. It was just a mention, like I said, just kind of frame a point about something else totally. And then there was a comment about something else that he mentioned, the thing that happened on September 10th. And it's like, I know I'm going to get just obliterated, and it doesn't help the channel and it doesn't help anyone really if the episode doesn't get out and people don't watch it. I mean, you can do a great episode, and if you have 5 people watch it, are you getting the truth out there? No. So you're almost having to bend to the will of this platform, which I don't like doing that either, obviously. So I today, and for those people who are members who watch in advance, or I think there's 5 or 6, whatever, people who watched in advance the Dr. Michael Lake episode coming up, I went back and edited it to take out that information so it will be better YouTube compliant. Of course, they have issues when you talk about Nephilim, when you talk about secret societies. All this stuff gets flagged. Why? I think it's because you're close to the mark. I think you're on target. And so we're going to navigate this as best we can, and do the best we can. And I'll continue to learn, and we'll continue to see what YouTube does. That's all there is to it, right? The bottom line is the best defense in all of this, like I said last week, excuse me, is an evergreen audience, aka an audience that'll show up and they don't need the advertising. They don't need, hey, how you doing? Finn says hello. So, like I always ask, man, if you haven't already subscribed, that's big, but more so just watch, share, comment. Comments are big. Like the thumbs up thing underneath the video. That's a big deal. Comments are huge. Share with your friends. It's not like I'm trying to get, it's not like I'm making a ton of money over here doing this. Okay. At all. I couldn't even buy groceries with where we're at right now. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm very blessed to have an awesome job as a performer that's allowing me to do this. But there's going to come a day whenever I want to maybe be able to just do this. So the censorship we got to find a way around it. And unfortunately, YouTube hates that people even say that. In fact, I'll probably get flagged for saying that. So not exactly sure what to do. But I am backing up the channel as best I can. For those who like to listen to audio podcasts, we're out there on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio and I forget what else. And those are up to date. Those are up to date as of right now. Go look at the Ryan Files over there. The information matters. And also on Rumble, I'm not up to date. I need to get to work on that, up to date things. I've even considered, just in the interest of, having a broader appeal. There are some people that won't listen to YouTube. because of these policies. There are some people who prefer like Rumble or whatever, BitChute, or there's 1,000 of them. And you can literally spend an entire month promoting one episode on all the platforms that are possible out there. I don't have the time to do that. I'm just one man. So we're not going to do that. But I have thought of like just ways to maybe diversify and get a broader audience. Because like I said, I know there's people that just aren't going to watch on YouTube because of the suppression. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. But there's some thoughts, I thought of, just to change it up maybe even start having the Friday night mic drops over on Rumble. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's an uncomfortable position to be in, to say the least. So, that being said, let's see what you got to say here. Yeah. Well, it's over there already, John. And like I said, I'll probably get in trouble for even saying what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to stir up anything. I'm just trying to, honor the work of the people, the researchers and whatnot who have come on. They've written books, and we can't talk about what they wrote, what's published. It's out there. You can get it and buy it publicly, and it's not like being censored in that way. But when you come and talk about it on this platform, it gets censored. I don't get why that is, even why it's allowed, but just don't get why it is. What's the benefit of that? What is the end game? What's your goal? I don't know. But it's a compelling thing to think about and to question. And so there you go. Something very interesting. Jim Penniston, United States Air Force retired, and Gary Olson wrote the Rendlesham Enigma. If you look, that's not a thin book right there, baby. If you know anything about the Rendlesham Enigma, Rendlesham Forest in England, there was a base there. There were some U.S. people on the base in the 80s. They had basically their version of the UK, whatever you call it, the UK Roswell, so to speak. He was there, witnessed it, all that. There's a number of books about it. I reached out to Nick Pope, actually, and you might have seen him on Ancient Aliens. Excuse me. Nick is the one who put me in touch with Jim. Jim agreed to come on, but I have to read the book. And I'm happy to do that. With everything going on, it's going to take a second. But that's another guest that's on the horizon to come on. Some fascinating stories and whatnot. So looking forward to all that. One thing in the news I did want to talk about before I get going. Where's it at here? All right. Very interesting times we live in, and why I talk about the things I talk about on the Ryan Files. The British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, whatever his name is, anyways, he just, I can't get it on my phone. Just basically said, hey, we're going to insist that everybody in the UK has a digital ID. Digital ID. And of course, that links to so many things we talk about on the Ryan Files. And just don't be surprised, folks. Keep your eyes open. It's coming. And it's what we talk about. And it's not conspiracy. It's not. It's happening right in front of our eyes. And when you start making the connections, and that's why I have these people on, man, like Gary Wayne makes his episodes incredible, the connections he makes and how he goes all the way back to Genesis 6 in the Bible and it brings it to modern day through secret societies, bloodlines, and so many other things. And I mean, to me, it's just evident that it doesn't hurt to be educated and to know the things that have been hidden or have been, excuse me, people have been attempting to hide. Why? Well, because they don't want you to know the truth. And I think that's part of why YouTube does what YouTube does. Maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even understand why YouTube does what YouTube does. I appreciate them. They're a great platform. But man, at some point, it's just like that concept of freedom of speech has sailed. And in a world where, most people are not getting their information anymore from the news media because we all know who they're controlled by, and there's narratives and everything else. And it's always to keep you divided. Well, the last thing you want to do is not have people unified, So let's not give the ability to talk about things, which is ridiculous. So, free speech guy, you might say. Anyways, let me check out the comments real quick. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. Yeah, Gary, Mr. Vax too. Listen, Gary, 45 years of research for those books, and they're here. Let me grab them real quick. And yeah, might be coming down with a little bit of a cold. Some people at work were sick. Might be getting it. But anyways, the Genesis 6 Conspiracy and the Genesis 6 Conspiracy 2 are the books that we talk about. I talked to him after the episode too, and he's willing to come back. There's a concept I wanted to talk about with him that is fascinating. Because he's talked about it on other podcasts, but I wanted to do a full episode about the history and where superheroes have come from. And man, everybody's watched all the Avengers movies and Marvel Universe and and DC comics and Superman and all this stuff. But I thought it would be a really fun episode to understand that all these superheroes are basically the concept is taken from this ancient pantheon of gods that we see all the way back in Genesis 6, which is crazy. But he makes the connections, and he has the math. He has the information down. He knows the connections. He's researched it. 45 years of doing this. It's fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. So, anyways, let's see. Heather, have some fun at your toga party. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. Wish me luck tomorrow with Jack Sarfati. Oh, he's going to walk away from that interview going, I just talked to the dumbest person I ever met. So it'll be awesome. Trivia question to celebrate 100th episode of the Ryan Files. What is the significance of the word detergent? That's right. Deter gentlemen and ladies alike, I believe. Remember that? Your hair looks like Wolverine tonight. Yeah, I planned that for talking about man, I am so excited. As soon as I'm off of here, I'm going to go make vegetarian spaghetti. I have been losing weight, and my body feels so much better when I don't eat meat. I'm not saying I want to be a vegetarian. I don't, but I'm telling you, arthritis or something, there's something in the meat that's, and I've done like tests. I'm like, I'll eat beef. And then the next day I'm like, oh, it's really sore. Man, life is so much better when you're not sore, and arthritis is creeping up. So, take it from a 52-year-old male. If you don't have arthritis, be thankful. If you do, I'm sorry, because I'm really beginning to understand what that's all about. So anyways, have a great night. Join me. I'll be around for Gary Leggiere tonight, new segment, and we're going to pop some up. Oh, real quick. I do get into AI with Gary Wayne, but also with Dr. Michael Lake coming up this week. But a friend of mine, and you've seen him in previous episodes if you watched any of year one, Sean Barker, a friend of mine, he was on there 2, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 5 times. I don't know. Sean Barker's anti AI to a degree, to an extent. And I thought, man, and we have a text thread, me and some friends, and he's on there, and we kind of, went back and forth on some stuff. And I called him up. I was like, hey, you know what? This would be great for the Ryan Files After Dark. You and I just have a conversation about it. We can agree to disagree. We're friends. We'll come at this thing and but like to have that conversation, I think it'll be educational for people to understand, Sean coming at it more maybe of a Christian viewpoint of like, I don't know if I want to even get involved with any of that. And then me coming at it from just a standpoint of, I understand what you're saying, but you can't avoid it. And somewhere in there, I think there's probably some good to be had and some truth that will unfold, and we'll see what happens. So he's on the road right now, but he'll be back, and sometime this month we'll record that and we'll put it out there. So that is it. I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in, for staying tuned in. It means a lot, man. I don't know, man. I always don't know exactly how to close this, but I do want to just say thank you for everything, and I appreciate your support. Like I said, your support is everything, and growing that evergreen audience is the goal. And I understand also probably the need to diversify. I'm working on it. I'm just one guy, but we're going to bring it. We're going to continue to bring it. We're not going to be you can suppress all they want, but as long as you folks hear it. And there's like 24 people watching right now. Great. That's more than 23, and that's more than 1, and that will change because with your help, get the word out, and it'll make a big deal. So I appreciate you guys. I hope this doesn't get censored too bad, but watch tonight, Gary Leggiere, which is already censored because he does cuss. He does drop a few F-bombs. He does smoke cigarettes. He does talk about drinking. He does talk about smoking weed and everything else, but he's entertaining. So enjoy it. Have some fun. I'm going to go make some vegetarian spaghetti. I love you guys. You're the best. Thank you so much. We'll talk. Cheers.